Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horses.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
We were sailing off the northern coast of Africa, headed home from the port of Tripoli. In the year of our Lord, it was 1804, in the topsail schooner Sally B. The topsail schooner Sally B. We had loaded up our hold with ostrich feathers rare to keep the Boston ladies in style. As we slid past the walls with the gallows high above, you could hear the prisoners moaning all the while. Hear the prisoners moaning all the while. Well, I'm glad to be gone, I said to my crew. That's a harbor full of wicked men indeed. They'd as soon cut your throat as your purse, said the maid. And we bid farewell to Tripoli. Bid farewell to Tripoli. But alas for our fate, we had spoken all too soon. We were followed by a Barbary corsair with a crew of 89 mounting 18 heavy guns. We were 10 and a cannon but a pair. 10 and a cannon but a pair. Well, I thought about my wife in our cabin down below. I shook so hard that I could barely stand. We are done, cried the mate, they're on us in an hour, and it's slavery and death for every man. Slavery and death for every man. Well, the minutes slowly passed as the pirate drew astern. We waited while our horror grew. We put our powder bags in a circle round the mast and prepared to blow the Sally B in two. We prepared to blow the Sally B in two. Then from out of the north on the wings of a squall drove a stack of canvas high and grand. 'Twas the frigate Constitution of 44 long guns, Captain Edward Preble in command. Captain Edward Preble in command. Well, frantic was the sight on the pirate deck that hour, as desperately they tried to haul around. The broadside Preble fired blew the courser's bow away, and they screamed and they tore their colors down, down, down. They screamed and they tore their colors down. They screamed and they tore their colors down. Well, drink to the Navy and old Ironsides, me boys, and drink to her gallant crew then. For life at sea is hard enough and fickle are the winds. God spare us from the cruelties of men. God spare us from the cruelties of men. For life at sea is hard enough and fickle are the winds. God spare us from the cruelties of man. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right.
So,
The show is Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin, and our guest is musician, instrument maker, inventor, businessman par excellence, Bob McNally, our old friend. Welcome to the show.
great to be here.
So the first time I met you, Bob, you were playing with Frostwater.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a few years ago.
Goes back quite a ways. Yeah. A lot of notes over the dam, as they say, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So what do you want to tell us about those first tunes?
Okay, well, people may be wondering what I'm playing. This is called a strum stick. I designed this for instrument for people that actually don't play anything. I play a lot of instruments, but I did design this for beginners, and it's called a strum stick. I'll tell you a little more about it. The first tune is called Sally B, and it's a song I wrote about a period in history when the U.S. Navy was a fledgling enterprise, and American commerce was attacked in various places around the world, and they decided a Navy might be a handy thing to have sometimes. And at that particular point in time, it sure was. And then I did a couple of, a reel and a couple of jigs. That was Mar's Wedding and Parson's Farewell and Merrily Kiss the Quaker. And that's kind of, exploiting the more advanced capabilities of the strum stick. But for beginners, they squeeze one string and strum all three. And whatever you finger on it is part of a major scale. So we like to say there's no wrong notes on it. So
That's handy.
it's the same musical principle as traditional dulcimer, but I put it in a sort of more guitar familiar package. So this one's in key of D, and then we also make them in key of G. The next song I'll do on the G. The G's a little smaller and tuned higher. You can see it's a one-piece neck and sides, and this one has a spruce top and a maple back. The body is Paduke on this. I don't think I was making these yet when we first met.
I think not.
This is a song, I wrote this song actually for the Mars Society. The Mars Society is a bunch of scientists and writers and engineers and educators that are very, very interested in having Mars explored and perhaps even eventually colonized. And there's some very serious folks, and they have actually had some serious outside input into NASA. And so this is a song I wrote to further them in what I consider their good work. And there's a little chorus, so if people in the room want to sing along, you'll see where it comes. 100,000 years ago, we traveled north to dark and cold, from Africa across the plains, struggling on that long walk. We learned to make and improvise. With sticks and stones we stayed alive. Our genes were calling down the line, calling to us to move on. We're moving on to Mars. We're headed on to Mars. We're going on to Mars, on to Mars. We're moving on to Mars. We're headed on to Mars. We're going on to Mars, on to Mars. A balsa raft, a skin canoe, a wooden boat out in a storm. Across the oceans we have roamed, immigrants on that long ride. Another ocean now to cross, a new world's waiting there for us. Mars is waiting down the line, waiting for us to move on. We're moving on to Mars, we're headed on to Mars. We're going on to Mars, on to Mars. We're moving on to Mars. We're headed on to Mars. We're going on to Mars, on to Mars. We've done this many times before, found the skill, made the will, built the vessels sleek and strong to carry us on that next ride. Or could it be that we've become too timid to attempt our dreams? Our courage calls us down the line, calling to us to move on. We're moving on to Mars. We're headed on to Mars. We're going on to Mars, on to Mars. We're moving on to Mars. We're headed on to Mars. We're going on to Mars, on to Mars. Now it's time for us to go. We're leaving on that midnight ship in smoke and rumble, flame and roar, strapping for that high ride. Our courage leads us here once more to march with those who've gone before. Our children watching down the line, watching as we move on. Our courage leads us here to find a Martian home for humankind. Our children's children down the line, watching as we move on. Everybody, we're moving on to Mars. We're headed on to Mars. We're going on to Mars, on to Mars. We're headed on to Mars. We're moving on to Mars. We're going on to Mars, on to Mars, on to Mars, on to Mars, on to Mars. Thank you. Good job, crew.
Great song.
Thank you.
Makes a good segue for you to talk about your space guitar.
The space guitar. So one of the instruments that I designed is the backpacker guitar, which I made for about maybe 10 years, and then licensed to C.F. Martin. So they now make it, and I pretty much stopped making it after they started, and they have done a terrific job with it and sold an awful lot of them. But shortly after that project started, an astronaut came to Martin and said, I'm flying on Columbia and STS-62, and we're given a certain amount of space to keep personal goods, and I want to bring a guitar with me on the shuttle. I'm a guitar player. And can you make the backpacker a little smaller because it won't fit into the storage space that we have? And Martin said, well, we're not set up to do that, but let's get in touch with the designer. Maybe we can do something together. So we got the dimensions of the storage space that had to fit in, and we built a reduced length version of the backpacker. The backpacker looks a little bit like the Strumstick, similar shape, but it's a 6-string, a little bigger body and a guitar neck. So we built this little space guitar, we called it, and got it to the astronaut. And NASA promptly sent it back to us, and they said, we need you to put it in a flame-proof case. And we were thinking, oh, they want to protect the guitar. And they said, no, it's to protect the shuttle in case the guitar, which is made of wood, spontaneously combusts. So we got some Nomex. We sewed up a Nomex case for it. That's the flame-proof material that NASCAR drivers use and astronaut suits are made out of. Sent it back, and in fact, the shuttle flew with the space guitar, and Pierre threw it. Played it on the mission. They had a great mission, and in his few off moments, he got a few pictures of him floating around playing the backpacker guitar, and it was pretty exciting because we actually got to see the the launch. And it was one of the most thrilling things I've ever seen in my life, seeing a space shuttle take off. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I've got another song I'd like to sing. This song was, this is another song that I wrote, and I wrote this song after reading Paul Hawken's book called The Ecology of Commerce. And this book is about sustainability and the virtues of sustainability in an economic sense, and how sustainability, rather than being uneconomic, is actually highly economic when things are designed properly. And I was moved by the book, and I had what some might think a very bad idea of trying to turn a book into a song. There's a lot of drawbacks to that, length not being the least of them. So what I invite people to do when they hear the song is you don't have to catch every word. Just like when you read a book, you don't remember every word you read, but parts stick out. And I just hope that there's parts here and there in the song that stick with you. If they move you, that's what the object was. Every living system on the earth is in decline. Recycling all your bottles and your trash won't even make a little dent. The car you drive, the clothes you wear, the power that you hear, the song with everything we touch and make and use is taken from our world. Where's the circle? Give it back. Where's the circle? Give it back. We count no cost on things we never can replace. And so we throw away the better part of everything we take. We leave a trail of waste behind us. No living thing can eat out of the loop. The rest of nature takes and passes on in cycle. We're the break, the gap, the weak link. We live like no tomorrow. We know better, and it's time to make a change. Where's the circle? Give it back. Where's the circle? Give it back. While we watch more species die than happened since that great extinction comet, because Brooklyn is the only thing more deadly. The cod are gone, the whales aren't long, gorillas, trees, birds and insects rape the forest, rape the mountain. We can't even kill a whole damn ocean. Where's the circle? Give it back. Where's the circle? Give it back. Happiness is not from things but feeling of connection, belonging to and fitting in, and joy at all creation. It's the reason your heart sings when you see the moon or listen to a robin. Don't pretend it never happens. It's the voice of life speaking to you. Never ignore it. It's the reason that you're living. Beauty matters. Beauty matters. Where's the circle? Give it back. Where's the circle? Give it back. It's not that things are bad, it's how we make and use them. Reckon up the cost of where it's from and where it's going. It's a matter of design, not for the moment but the long term. Make it fair to look ahead, we'll see the market answer. Church and school and kings and queens and presidents and family didn't make the toxic waste that now obliterates biology. It was business, local, big or global, separated from the natural consequences. It's no wonder no one pays attention, but we made it. Now we clean it. We never will again. Look out the window like the air is always there and we can trash it. We buy what business sells. It's up to us to tell us what to make and how to make it. It's a matter of design and it's our business. Our only business. Where's the circle? Give it back. Where's the circle? Give it back. We've had our childish dream that there would never be a bill to pay. Now it's time to grow up and accept responsibility. We have our hearts, our hands, our brains. We're ready for this moment. Harmony and comfort can live peacefully together. You never could get quite enough of what you never needed. Sufficiency, sustainability become abundance as we find our place. Love our home, at last we do our duty to our planet. Our only planet. Our lovely planet. Where's the circle? Give it back. Where's the circle? Give it back. Where's the circle? Give it back. Thank you.
Great stuff, Bob. For more information, people can go to strumstick.com.
Strumstick.com. We've got all kinds of educational information and the story of the Strumstick and pictures and all that sort of stuff. So check it out.
Information about your recordings too.
Yeah, my recordings too. I've done some recordings with Lori Riley and some Celtic music and some Christmas music and some other things. So that's all there. Do you have your harps with you?
I do. Thanks for being a guest on the show,
It
Bob.
was a pleasure. I've watched the show for over the years, and it's a great thing that you've done, and what an incredible resource, and the longevity of it is a thing that's just amazing. Anthropologists 100 years from now are going to find the tapes of this show, and they're going to like scream with delight. So, so it's nice to be part of that buried treasure trove.
Thank you.
There's another little tune, and we can probably take it out with this, right?